Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Roseburg's Speakers and Storytellers. We are going to start this morning with some little facial exercises to get our face activated so we can all get full range of movement and everyone's just waking up. So I want everyone to join me and we're going to do over-exaggerated A, E, I, O, U. 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 Okay, we're getting our face all woken up, so hopefully that's activated everyone. Now we all have smiles to show, so I love that. This morning I'm not going to do the standard SAA intro because we're all seasoned speakers here. So I will hand over to our president, Miss Ayu.
Thank you, Amy. A, E, U, O, U. That is very exciting. Thank you, Amy. Welcome, everybody. Again, I would like to say hi to all of us, and let's just get started. Our TMOD today is very special. Nizar Hadir.
Thank you, Ayu. Sometimes I don't like RSS meetings because I could see it's the morning on your faces and I'm going to finish my day here in Jordan. So, different roads to happiness. And I chose this in purpose. Different roads. There is no one road to happiness. And this is, I realized during my life. I remember a story that said, I read it yesterday. There are a group of frogs moving through the forest, and guess what? Two of them have fell in a pit. And the rest of the group of the frogs were looking at the pit and how deep the pit is. And the two frogs are were stuck in the pit. And the group of frogs, they tried to help, but they assist the pit, and it was so deep. They told the frogs, the two who have fallen, keep your strength, don't try, let it go, because it's too hard. The first one decided to try, and he tried to jump once and twice and third, but he didn't make it. So the group was telling them, no, don't try. Keep your strength, let it go. Maybe someone will pass and will catch you. The second one, it tried much more harder, much more energetic. And with the fourth jump, he made it. And the group of the frogs were shocked and surprised, and they told him, you didn't listen to us. They explained to him that we were telling you don't try, why you were keep trying. He explained to them, did you forget that I'm a deaf? And sometimes our perception in the world, or people's words, or some social pressure will determine or draining our happiness. Maybe some certain perception will decide that that road is the happiness, the fame, the career, not the family one. Maybe go helping others. This is the only road for happiness. Maybe I want to be selfish. I want to work only on myself, and this is my happiness. There are no one road to happiness. And this is my message today to you. Are you ready to kick off the meeting? Yes, thank you. I'll start with our fantastic Michelle, the grammarian of today. And I want to ask her before she started and gave us a brief. She shared with me a very special definition about her definition and approach to happiness. So I'm going to ask her to share with us her philosophy. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Nizar. Well, I wouldn't call it definition. It's just my perception of what happiness is, that it's a state of mind. It's not circumstances, it's not conditions or even anything external. It's a state of mind. And Nizar just started by sharing about two frogs. Well, I have two little boys in mind. Their father was worried because one was very always happy, too happy, overly happy, and the other one was overly sad, pessimistic. So the father put a bunch of toys in the one of the happy child, no, and the sad child, always sad, and he put a bunch of horse manure in the happy child's room. He was thinking now the sad child will be happy, but no, the sad child was crying and saying, "Oh no, I'm so confused. What am I going to do? There's so many toys. I don't know where to start." And the always happy child was still happy, digging in the horse manure, saying, "I know it's here. I know it's here. The horse, the special gift to me, is here, and I'm going to find it." So that's an exaggerated story, but that shows that happiness is a state of mind. And our word of the day is perceive or perception. How you perceive things determines your happiness. Nizar already used the word of the day twice, I think, or maybe even 3 times. So remember to use perceive or perception, how you see things, your state of mind. Use that throughout the meeting. Over to you, Nizar.
Thank you so much, Michelle. This is Michelle's perception of happiness. What about Excel? Excel, what's your perception of happiness? And shoot at us the definition of a brief about your role today.
Yes, hello, good day to everyone. Yes, about my perception of happiness, well, more like perception. I have like a method that I, and every time, in every morning, I think that I try to enjoy the things. For example, right now with you, hearing, listening, looking you, everyone, that you are so happy, everyone. So that enjoy also. So that's my way that I try to be happiness. And if I've taken a cup of coffee and it's so delicious, I try to enjoy that. So, and also, for example, like back to me, I'm feeling so good for that view. So that's my perception of happiness. For my rule, it's timer, and I will, let me show you. I will take the time for everyone. For speakers, I will show my screen in green when you have 5 minutes, and 6 when you have 6, and 7 when you have 7. This is for a speaker, and for evaluation will be 2 minutes in green, 2.5 yellow, 3 minutes red. And when someone speaks in a topic, it's 1 minute, 1.5 in yellow, and 2 minutes. Like something like this, you will see in green, yellow, and red. And thank you. I go back with you, Nizar.
Thank you, Excel. Your technology making me so happy. Going to Tiger, our immediate past president. Tiger is our counter. Tiger, what's your perception of happiness? And give us a brief about your role. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. My perception of happiness. You get up in the morning and you go, oh God, it's another day. Or you go, oh God, it's another day. Every morning you get up, you get to make that choice. It's nice to get up in the morning and look forward to your day. That to me is happiness. Counter, I get to perceive whether or not your pauses are uncomfortable or are they natural? Look out for your ahs and ohs and you knows and likes and so's. I'm a so guy, so I'm gonna be looking for those so's. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Excuse me. See, there was one for me right there.
No worries, Tiger. Thank you for sharing your perception. Our first speaker for today, Federico, he agreed with me that yes, there are many different roads to happiness. And I'd like to ask him, share what you have shared with me to us. What do you think, Federico?
Happiness is something that is very subjective. Sometimes it can change over your life, over your age, over your tendencies, your preferences. Some people will search for freedom. Some people will search for inner peace. Some people will love money. My best friend loves money, and that's what makes him happy. So some people say money doesn't give you happiness. My best friend will not agree with you.
I agree with your friend. Federico's speech today and project is from level 3. Connect with your audience. And guess what? His evaluator is our dear Samantha. I'm going to ask her, Samantha, can you give us a brief about the objective of Federico today?
Thank you, Nizar. The purpose of the speech today is a speech with emphasis on adding language that increases interest and impact. And this is in the descriptive language pathway. And now,
Thank you. Yes, go on. Sorry.
back to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Okay, 5 to 7 minutes. The Winter Palace. The Winter Palace. Federico Navarti, over to you.
It was 2017 when Edgar and I decided to go to a place, a mystical place that for many people look prohibited. And if you look at the picture, you might recognize that above my friend Edgar, there is the one and only Stanley. Yeah, we're not communists, but in fact, you might be guessing that where we travel is that prohibited place that all news speak about. This mystical guy, the one and only villain, Putin. In fact, we visited his lands in Russia. The Winter Palace was an impressive place. In fact, of incredible beauty, massive, as something we have never seen before. Its colors, its people, everything there caught our attention. And in a brief moment, Edgar said, Navo, look up, look what is there. And I was like, what do you mean? What I should look up? Look there, Navo. Yeah, there was a tiger above us, as in a lion, and some other people in golden colors. I have never seen anything like that. The Winter Palace started to open us to a new doors, to a new place that we have no idea. For sure, the Tsars had great things in their minds when they built this place. For us, this place was extremely unique. And we ran like crazy teenagers to go inside this place. We had to go there. We need to see what is inside the place. We were crazy. We have never been in such a massive place in our lives. So when we entered, we started to see some interesting statues, some ballet dancers, some Greek people. But in the door, that opened the place, there was a philosopher looking at us. And that one was Socrates. So if you have ever heard about this Greek guy, we have never seen him before. So we saw him there, and he was in the door that opened the Winter Palace for us. We were completely overwhelmed, and we have been there maybe less than 10 minutes. We carry on like crazy guys in a random place who didn't speak Russian, but we didn't care about it. For us, it was unique. But inside there, something caught more our attention. Everything was surrounded by gold. Literally gold. This was a room. This was a clock made of gold. So yeah, if you think that you have a gold ring, imagine what the stars had inside that place. Well, even go more inside. I'm not sure what is this, to be honest, but it had more gold than I have ever had in my life. And more in depth. Yeah, this picture even proves what I'm telling you. I am there inside with the golden pictures and all the golden things surrounding us. I couldn't even understand how I felt, more than overwhelmed by all the gold around me. It has been one of the craziest things I have ever experienced in my life. But nothing was more impressive than in a moment I looked up. Yeah, this time I was the one, not Edgar. And I said, Mahe, look up. And he said, okay. And we saw this picture of the Athens, Greece, and all those ancient times where you could see the Greek gods in their heaven, surrounded by gold as always. So you can imagine the Tsars love gold. We couldn't even believe that some people were so insane for the gold that they had. But after that, we started to move between times and civilizations. And in a moment, we were in a scary place for us because a samurai was behind us. And we didn't look at this guy. So when we're there, it's like, what happened, man? And we almost broke the window. Well, yeah, we might have been in the jail, but thankfully we didn't break it. But it really happened because we saw it and we were scared about this thing because we didn't know if it was someone playing a joke or if it was something real. And not every samurai looked like a friendly guy. Some of them were quite angry. I really don't know why they make them like that. I thought that the ninjas were the evil characters, not the samurais. So maybe I'm wrong. We carry on, and after 2 hours, we reached some of the windows. And in the windows, we saw part of St. Petersburg, part of the beautiful palaces, and everything surrounded that place. Of course, with gold all the time. Massive buildings, massive churches, and everything that came to our minds was incredibly beautiful. After a couple of minutes, we heard something making some noise. We had no idea what it was making that noise. We were like, we're inside of a museum, a palace. What is making a noise? There are no animals here. Well, humans are animals, but it's a different topic. So we carry on and we noticed that there was a peacock making the noise. In fact, it was a golden peacock making that noise, and there was a golden chicken that could make another noise. But that was a different time of the day. Around 4 p.m., we ran because we noticed that we were against the clock and we have missed one of the most important things, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It was almost in the beginning where Socrates was. We're running like crazy guys. We had to come back to the beginning. And there we meet the one and only Zeus. Even though it was a replica, it was something incredible for us. After that, we decided to slow down because it was almost 6 p.m. and we had to leave. At the end, we saw some part of the ancient Egypt. Sadly, we were lazy and we didn't have enough time to look at the end in depth. But believe me, we had to come back here. It was incredible, as nothing we have ever seen. Yeah, until the end, we saw more about it. And thankfully, and hopefully, one day, you will join us with Edgar and I to the next adventure to the Winter Palace. Back to you, Lisa.
Federico, you said, indeed, there are different roads to happiness, but I could perceive that one road that lead to your happiness is Toastmasters. I could see how you are so serious in taking yourself to the next level and you enjoy it so much. Very well done speech. Thank you, Federico. Amy, I could see her ready from the beginning of our meeting today, and her joy, in short, is inspiring and helping others. Amy, she is delivering her level 1 researching and presenting, and her evaluator today, Yasmin. Yasmin, can you give us a brief about the objective of Amy today?
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. So Amy's speech today is from a project which is about researching and presenting. She is presenting for level 1. And this project addresses topic selection strategies, suggestions for research, and methods for producing a well-organized speech. So the purpose of the speech is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech. So looking forward for your well-researched speech, Amy.
Thank you, Yasmin. 5 to 7 minutes for Excel. Her title is Understanding Spaces. Understanding Spaces. Join me in welcoming Amy.
Thank you, Nizar. I'm just going to share my presentation. I haven't quite mastered the Prezi yet, so I'm still doing the old school. How does your space make you feel? Do any of you ever stop and think about how your home impacts your feelings? At Animal Lunar Collective, we believe that the home is a nourishing and supportive space, and we work with our clients to create a place where they're fully connected in with their home. Today, I would like to talk with you about some of the key elements that can affect us in our home. These areas are, what are these key areas? The first one is lighting. Lighting has a huge impact on our psychological, like on our stress, psychologically, on our stress, sleeping, everything. Naturally, we work with our circadian rhythm, and the natural light comes in. We wake up in the morning, there's these very subtle blue tones that tell our body to release serotonin, and we are going about our day, we're active, we're great, getting it all done. And then as the day progresses, sun starts to go down, we start to have more red light coming in, those blue lights are reducing. This is telling our body to produce melatonin. And this is telling our body then to start slowing down, prepare for sleep. What happens when we're inside and we're surrounded with a lot of artificial light, this process is eliminated. So we have to be aware of how we can try to help this and make sure that we're not exposing ourselves to those blue lights the whole time. And so my suggestion on how we can sort of replicate this in the home is, if you, depending what you want to get out of your space, you know, it could just be you have the one space and you do everything in that, or you could have different rooms that you want to do different things in. But I would recommend for highlighting, for your lighting in the ceilings, that you would go for these colder colors that are more active. And then when you're using them during the day, and if you have a home office, you might want to have a functional light that has even colder lights again, so where you're down at the 3000s and above on the Kelvins. This is all with LEDs. Then for your low level lighting in the evenings, you have lamps, and you have them at the warmer lights, so at the 2000s and the 2700s. So as the evening comes in, you can turn off those colder lights and you can turn on the warmer lamps, and this will do what the natural light does outside. So this will help your body let it know to slow down, to unwind. So these are little small things with lighting that can help reduce stress for your body. The next element is color. Color is huge, wide spectrum, and I will only go into the brightnesses and the tones. I'm not going to go into the specific colors because it's a very personal thing. When we have color in our space, if we have those really bright colors, this is actually, it stimulates emotions within us. And studies have shown that spaces that have less bright, intense colors, people are more rational and people are able to concentrate more. So bear that in mind when you're decorating your home, you're choosing the colors that you have in your house. If you are like me, you love the bright colors, but you don't want to be too emotional, you want to be able to focus, you want to be rational, use them with accents, use them with artwork, with soft furnishings. And then when you're doing your walls and everything, focus on the tints, the tones. So the tints are a hue with a bit of white. So you're going on the lighter, you know, these are fresh. They're what you'd see in most homes. You can also go with the tones. So that's when you have your color, your hue, and you're bringing in a gray. And that this can be very cozy, and it can actually be really comforting in a space. So a lot of popular belief says that the dark colors will make somewhere look small. That's not necessarily true, because with these tones, they can play with the shadows, and it can actually create the illusion of more space in a room. And our final object or key element that can impact how we feel in a space is shapes. We are naturally drawn to patterns, and specifically natural patterns. So there's fractals. Fractals are small pattern that reoccurs to build out. They're everywhere. You can see it in this image here. It's a small repeating pattern that repeats and gets bigger and bigger. Icicles is another good example of one where you keep zooming in and you keep seeing the same pattern. Studies have shown that when we watch these patterns, we go into a relaxed and focused state. So it actually puts us in a flow state. So this is, it's like stimulating, but not in the way that the color sort of made us go a bit too much like that. It's stimulating that it activates us, it gets us focused, but we're rational. We're in that prefrontal cortex. We're in that front part of our brain. We're focused in. So these are they're natural patterns that are all around us that we can draw into our homes. Another thing that links in with this is symmetry. So you can look at sort of balance of objects, of shapes, look around your room, see if there's anything that's out of scale, just that looks a bit imposing, and see if it can be balanced out with another object. Just try to bring in symmetry. We're naturally drawn to symmetry, and we feel more comfortable when things are symmetrical around us. These are some of many things that impact us in our homes. There are, you can go a lot deeper on all of that, and really it can be a much more personal thing, but I wanted to give you a bit of an overview of the general things that you can be aware of, and you can make little adjustments to, so you can be more connected and you can control how you feel in your space. And I hope that this will allow you to be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Amy, you seem so expert. You know, one of the signals of experts, delivering some technical info to non-technical people in a very easy way. So well done on that, Amy. And I think this is the time of table topics. Kunang, she's leading on table topics today. I want to hear from her, Kunang, what you shared with me. What makes you happy? Is Kunang here?
Thank you, Toastmasters, Tanisha. Hello, everybody. What makes me happy and what happiness means to me is that for me, I think about kindness to myself because when I'm doing kindness to myself and I understand about the feeling of the people that they need the kindness from the other people, especially to the children. In the kindness word, I'm including the words of respect and love. So I need to love myself, respect myself, and kindness to myself, and then I can share my kindness to the other people, to the children. And the other meaning of happiness to me is that when I am helping the other people, especially helping the children, I just understand that it makes me happier than ever I had before. So thank you.
Thank you. I could see on LinkedIn you keep posting pictures with the children that you help. So follow Kunang on LinkedIn. You will see a lot of pictures. The stage is yours, Kunang.
Thank you. Yes. Now I'm continuous about my role is tabletop picks master. I'm sharing my screen. Sorry. I'm sorry, it's a little
Do you need
bit
help?
late. Yeah, I got it.
Maybe we can interview Tiger while you are getting ready. Tiger, what do you think about Amy's speech? I could see you are doing this and this. Did you enjoy it? It was so difficult, man. I could see you are.
Nizar, I'm trying to get my hair to grow. I'm trying to get my hair to grow back. Come on, man. I'm trying to get my hair to grow back. No, Amy's speech was great. I was fascinated by. I'm fascinated by light. I am a light guy. I need to have natural light in a space, and I was very intrigued by Amy's speech. So I'm impressed that you were watching me. That scares me a little bit, Mizar.
I was wondering why Tiger is doing this. So difficult. Konang, are you ready?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's welcome Konang, the table topics leader for today.
Yes. My role today is asking question. Yes. I have 7 questions. And number 1, number 2. Who want to answer the first question? Yes. Yasmin. Yes. What is your road to seeking fulfillment and happiness?
Thank you indeed for the wonderful question about what is my personal road to seeking fulfillment and happiness. So as I read your title, my eyes are stuck at the 2 words happiness and fulfillment. And this makes me think that they are inseparable. No, you are happy, then you feel fulfilled. And what makes me fulfilled? it is about being with the nature. Anytime, every time I'm there in between the nature, I'm just looking at the trees, I'm just looking at the blue sky, I'm just looking at the river flowing, I feel happy. So for me, happiness is knowing the strength and value that surrounds us, that is nature. And to connect it, I would also like to say what makes me feel sad. And I feel very sad when I see that we as a human race are moving so much far away from nature at times. It is like we feel okay in our hectic schedule in 1 year, maybe for 10 days, we can go and spend our time in between nature. It makes me feel sad. I feel like how could it be that we in a year be happy just being 10 days in the nature? Why is it not the other way around? Why is it that we are surrounded by nature all the time and it's just 10 days when we think, okay, we can work, we can do something which takes us off nature or just go far from nature. So I am a hardcore believer of being in the nature, being minimalist, and deriving our happiness for simplistic things that are around us, and just say no to consumerism. So this gives me nature, this gives me happiness, this gives me fulfillment. Thank you for the question, and back to you, Kunal.
Thank you, Yasmin, for your great ideas about fulfillment and happiness. Surround ourselves with nature, and you feel happy when you feel fulfillment. Yes, thank you. So the next question is the second question. Who wants to go next? I don't see who. Could you raise your hand or you let your voice coming out? So could choose. Are you?
Okay.
What does happiness mean to you?
I agree with Michelle at the beginning that happiness is state of mind. But it's also another thing that is just a state of mind, also freedom. And the story of frogs that Bizarre gave us is just it's in one way it's hilarious, but another way it's eye-opening. So like I said, I think I will just share my answer to Nisar yesterday that my happiness is between a fate and a choice. Some do not know how to feel content, and it is not their fault, as they just cannot grasp it. I know sometimes sad, but some are lucky to be able to experience the pure happiness without even trying. Which one are us, or which one? But one more thing, some finally free themselves, either find happiness or learn to be happy by choice. So, Kunang, to answer your questions, to answer your topic, for me, happiness is this. When we share our smile, when we meet our friends, and when we feel accepted in our community. Back to you, Kinan. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for sharing your ideas. about happiness. Happiness is a state of mind and the shape. When you are smiling, your friend also smile. Okay. The next question. Wow. The third question is, could you please explain this happiness is a direction, not a place? Hi, who want to go next? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm stuck with my IT. Who could you please set in your voice? Yes. Excel.
Hello, that's what the question is for me.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, could you share with me or say again the question? Sorry.
I'm sorry, my IT is not good like you. Yes. Could you please explain this? Happiness is a direction, not a place. What does it mean?
Yes, I think that yes, it's a direction. Or like, or same like say I do, and same like said Michelle. That is the situation of your mind. So that I think that is the direction when you direct your thinking, when you are, maybe you can be in an ugly place, or maybe you can be in a jail, but this doesn't matter that you are happy, because you change, you direct your thinking, and that maybe think that you are free, that you imagine that a beach or something, any place that you want, and that makes you feel happy. So I think that yes, happiness is direction and not place. Thank you, Kunan.
Thank you, Isha.
Konang, I think you are muted.
I'm sorry. The fourth question is why knowing your personal road to happiness is important for you. This question goes to Michelle.
I had a feeling it was going to me. Thank you, Ayu. Thank you, Kunang. Why does knowing your personal road to happiness, why is it important to us? Well, I had shared with Nizar earlier and with everyone that for me, there is really, it's not a way or a road, because happiness is not a place. It's a state of mind. And knowing that it's a state of mind is important to me, because I realize I am in control. I can decide or determine whether I'll be happy or not. And that is really important, because when people feel they have no control over their situation, they tend to feel powerless. But because I know that even if I'm in surroundings that are not conducive to happiness, I know that in my mind, I can still be happy. That helps me to stay happy all the time. It is something that I can manage on my own. Now, the irony of this is that for so many years, I did not have circumstances that would have made me happy. But because of this belief that it's in my own control, I was happy. I created happiness for myself. And the irony is for the last year or 15 months since I've been with my soulmate, Dave, I didn't even think, I didn't have to manage my happiness. It was simply just there. I would wake up in the morning and just feel happy, and I'd be happy throughout the day. And I'd drift off to sleep happy because I had those circumstances. I had the person who was making me happy, and I didn't have to manage happiness. Back to you, Kuda.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Yes. Uh, knowing yourself happy is when your mind is in control and make you happier. And it's not about the place or situation. It's the state of your mind. Thank you.
Wow, Kunang, thank you. I felt you finished, sorry.
I am finished.
No, I thought you are giving an ending. Sorry, go on.
The fifth question is, how do you keep practice your happiness habits? How do you keep practice your happiness habits? This question go to Samantha.
Can you repeat the question? Okay, thank you, Kenan. So how do you practice habits that make you happy? Well, I think you have to practice them every day, so that way it's consistent. And it has to be something that you truly know will make you happy in the end, something that you thought about deeply, that has to do with something that's very important to you, that follows your morals and values. Many people who work to get a job, they want to work in a field that makes them feel like they're really helping people, like they're really contributing to something. And that is something that will make you happy in the end, that will create peace in your mind. I know as some said, like Federico, that some people work for money and this makes them happy in the end, or to have prestige or something like that. But the one thing that we all share is that we're all human, and humans need to be around other people who like them, who are like family. That is something that I believe no one can go without. And I believe that is what will make you happy in the end, and what needs to be consistent every day in order to truly be happy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the question, Kunang. Back to you.
Thank you, Samantha. Yes, I'm glad your setting is about take a deep breath and surrounding yourself with the people. Thank you.
Kunang, we are running out of time. So I think...
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Konang. Do you think she deserves a big round of applause? I was saying an online applause, but the word I didn't find any word. I could see and feel today was filled with wisdom, you know, some profound phrases from everyone. And with this, I need to continue that wisdom with our general evaluator for today, who gave a speech 1 to 2 minutes in the table topics, sharing with us her own perception about happiness. Miss President, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Nisa. Thank you very much. Today's meeting is actually running very smooth with 50% of the membership of RSS. Thank you for being here, everyone. Then now let's get started with our first evaluator. I believe the first evaluator, the Federico evaluator is Sam.
Thank you. Well, you did a really great speech, and it's very interesting. You're very good at adding descriptions of the things, like the building being covered in gold, and adding the pictures really, really helps show the story. And as you used, the descriptive language was really good. You used a lot of descriptive language, like mystical, prohibited spaces, and used literary elements like similes, so things as like or as. You might want to work on giving more of a background to the setting, so people who aren't familiar with the Winter Palace will know why it's such an important place in Russia. And to challenge yourself, perhaps to add more literary elements like metaphors, more of a plot, or a big conflict to the story, or characters. But overall, it was a really great speech, and I really liked it, and looking forward to the next one. Thank you. Back to you, Ayu.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much. And now let's go to Yasmin to evaluate Amy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to evaluate Amy's speech, which was about research and presenting. But you all have to be honest to tell me how much research bore you. Don't you all get bored the moment you think that someone is going to present about research? I know, but it
Did
Jasmine got frozen, or I got frozen?
I think Yasmin got blacked out.
Okay, yeah, I was confused.
Okay, so we can wait for Yasmin, and let's just go to Michelle first, our grammarian.
Okay, now Michelle was not totally present. You saw her face, but actually the brain was not functioning fully yet. One of the things that I realized just a few seconds ago is that I had not placed the word of the day on the chat, and I had not repeated reminders for people to use it. So nonetheless, we did have a few people who used the word of the day. Nizar, I stopped counting after 7. You really jumped into using the word of the day, perceive or perception. I think you had more than 7. Excel had 1, I think, or might have been 2. Tiger had 1. Federico, I think 1 or could have been 2. And then I did not hear anyone else, but it is possible that there were others who used the word of the day, but I did not perceive it. I did not capture it. Now, in terms of language, because we know that we are a global club with so many members coming from different countries and who don't use English as their first language, I tend to be more, shall we say, gentle, or not, I don't put on my major grammarian police hat when I'm in this club. I do think that we need to watch our tenses. Tense can be confusing because if we use the present tense when it actually already happened, then it can confuse the listeners. So let's just watch a little bit whenever we say, for example, just words like, if it's past tense, it should be helped, not help, or kept, not keep. Just examples. But again, as I said, we are, as long as we can be understood generally, that should work for us. I loved how Samantha mentioned in her evaluation that maybe Federico could have used more figures of speech, metaphors, or rhetorical devices, because that's what makes language so powerful. So I hope we can use maybe some figures of speech a little more. And if my brain was connected, I'm sure I would have captured some figures of speech from people speaking today. But I apologize. I should probably not ever accept being grammarian at this hour of the day before the coffee hits the brain, because my perception of things is like a slow motion. Okay, back to you, Ayu, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you very much. Well, it's probably just your perception that you feel like you are not really connected because your brain is not really function before the coffee. But guess what? You still did well. Amazing. Yes, it seems like Yasmin has a power failure. So we don't really have our second evaluator, but let's just wait for a little bit longer and we go to Tiger for now. Yes, just a moment, Tiger. You want to say something, Michelle?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, if Yasmin cannot come back, I can give an impromptu evaluation for Amy's speech.
Okay, thank you. Tiger, time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. General Evaluator. This was a amazing meeting. I didn't keep track of individuals as much as I kept track of the group. Overall, we did exceptionally well. There was a contest between ahs, ums, and so's. Drum roll, please. Who won? The won. Just be careful with your ahs. If you're going to say an ah or an or a so, just try and pause before you say it. But overall, we did exceptionally well. There are a few people that had exceptional uses of certain ands. I will put little messages in the chat, but overall, you guys, very well done. Back to you, Miss General Evaluator.
No name mentioned. Wow. Probably later on in the chat. Okay. Thank you, Tiger. Next is our timer. Do you want to say it verbally, or you just want to let it be in the chat? You want to say it verbally, Excel? Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. Yes, most of the time I already sent by the chat, but maybe I can do a little brief. Let me try something new. I saw here in Prezi that maybe, yes. Okay. Oh, don't look so. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. But well, that's the time. Oh, yes. Okay, Federico, do 7 minutes 20 seconds. Amy, 7 minutes 49. evaluators, Samantha, 1 minute 7 seconds. Sorry, I wrote Alice, but it's Jasmine that we don't have. Michelle, 3 minutes 4 seconds. Tiger, 1 minute. And for the speakers, Jasmine, 1 minute 57. Aju, 1 minute 49. Me, I want to use I think I perceived that maybe I do 1 minute because I couldn't take my time. Michelle, 2 minutes 29 seconds, and Samantha, 1 minute 30 seconds. Thank you, Aju. This is my report.
Thank you, Excel. Guess what? Sometimes timer is not a speaking rule, but when you do it, you just did verbally, and it's really nice because it's giving us, time to speak, time to try to pronounce it better and better every time we speak. Thank you, Excel. Thank you very much. And now we have Yasmin here with the name of Michelle. So hi, Michelle Jr.
Thank
The
you.
young Michelle. Go ahead.
Thank you, and sorry for being dropping out. I just had the power cut, and I must thank Amy for her patience. Just returning back to the subject of researching and presenting, I really wanted to congratulate Amy for making this subject so very interesting and so very, sort of seeking speakers, our audience attention through her very simple slides, very simple, very effective. I must congratulate you, Amy, for making the presentation so clear, crystal clear to the audience, because many of the time I have myself presented and I have always received the comment that I overload my slides with a lot of information. So I really want to congratulate you for making it so simple, just one word per slide as to what is the message, followed by one picture. And that made it very, very powerful. With the white background and your look in the front, it was absolutely eye-catching, at least to the audience. Now, not only the visuals, but also your subject. The way you presented it, I could very clearly see you just simplified it. The key of your speech was simplification. You just had 4 points to talk about: colors, spaces. I have noted it down, shapes, and the little changes that one can make towards the end, which was more like a concluding slide as well. The changes that people can make. And you had a consistent structure, like what you're going to talk about, why is that important, how scientists have proved it, and how we are going to do it. So you have had suggestions. So this structure of how, what, why, how helped us. We got it that this is the next point and this is how you will be flowing. So very well done that. Things that I have to challenge you to take it to the next level, because I know this subject is very close to your heart and you have been working on it persistently for some time. I would now ask you to pay attention to your gestures, microsecond gestures, because now I know you can take it to the next level, because still there are places where you look into the void, like space ahead, and try to see what comes next. So try to work on your micro gestures. I have put my mobile on phone, so I hope I won't be disconnected, but strong recommendation. Secondly, in addition to micro gesture, use your gestures more effectively, your hand gestures more effectively, meaning just don't let it flow abruptly. Make effect. You have at places used it very nicely. For example, when you said flickering the lights, etc. So try to use it more effectively. These are my two suggestions at the moment to really take it to the advanced level. It is already a highly crafted speech, very well done. I really agree. Again, congratulate you, but I wish it to take it to the next level of perfection. So thank you, and back to you, Ayu.
Thank you. Guess what? I was asking Excel, do you time Yasmin? And she said no. Yeah. 3 minutes 15. Thank you, Michelle. So Yasmin, you managed to be in the allotted time for every evaluator. Well done. So now let's just go to the general evaluator report. First of all, still fresh in my mind, Excel for the timing. If there is another, like Yasmin coming a little late, right? Please still count the time. Just giving the green, yellow, and red. And to challenge you next time, note the time of every role taker. What do you think? So tomorrow, since we will meet again, I will let you know timer. To advance the timing, timer role is just a time or role taker, not just the speaker. Thank you. And then thank you, Tiger. It was actually very short, simple, sweet for the counter. And I think I already said to our grammarian that even though everything she said is just her perception, you still did very well, ma'am. Thank you. And for the speakers, congratulations, both of you are actually fulfilled the purpose of your speech project. And this is special for Kunang. Kunang today is doing a project of active listening with the purpose of the project is to demonstrate the ability to listen to what others say. Kunang, congratulations, you did well. We all could see you try to listen. You took notes and try to and deliver it. Say it to us. Mention it to us. I like your PP. I like your slides, and I am happy that you are able to share the PowerPoint and then close it again when somebody starts talking. And open again and close it again. So in that way, everybody can see everybody's face. To challenge yourself for the next time, I want you to take, I think it's using a presentation software on level 3 or level 4 later on. So you will know how to make a powerful slide. Okay, so I think I have a lot of so today, Mr. Accounter. And by that, I think we have a good meeting. And at 11:06, I would like to hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, who I love about his frog story. Over to you, Mr.
Ayu. I hope you enjoyed today. Did you? All right, nothing to add. Let me hand over again to Miss President with a big round of applause. Ayu.
Thank you, Nisa. Back to me again. And guess what? I forgot to mention our evaluator. So I will add a little bit. Sam, you did a great job. I challenge you to speak more than 2 minutes at least as an evaluator. But overall, you did the sandwich method, which is start with the positive, and then you give one improvement, room for improvement, and then you give one challenge over there to stretch the evaluation speech. You can prepare an opening and then close it with the conclusion. How about that? Thank you. And for Yasmin, no comment, ma'am. You did very well. Even with the blackout and everything, no panic. Wow. So by that, I will give it to Yasmin again to fill the roles for next week, the club business.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You again welcoming you from the blackout. You can't see me, so you see the lovely Michelle. For the next meeting, I'm just going to recall what we decided from the previous meeting, that TMOD is going to be Ishel. Ishel, does that stand correct? You are going to be the TMOD for the next meeting, the Toastmaster of the day. Okay. Okay, super. So Ishel is ready to take the challenge. She's going to be the TMOD for the next meeting. I noticed that we have two speakers included. First is Amy. I want to check with Amy, is she willing to take two speeches back to back? Because this is what you have included, Amy, in the list.
Like an extra long speech.
I have to check, but I see you as one of the speakers. So you have included yourself as one of the speaker for the next meeting.
Oh, yeah, I want to speak next week. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to give speak too.
Okay, so I really need to know who are interested, because if that is the case, we can go for 3 speakers for the next week. I have also received interest from Melva. So in this case, I'm noting as Melva, Amy, and Kunang as the 3 interesting speakers for the next week. Okay. And then I need 3 evaluators. So I look for volunteers for 3 evaluators for next week. We have speakers as Amy, Kunang, and Melva. Michelle has volunteered. Yes, Michelle, I include you. 2 more evaluators. Federico, yep, okay. And anyone willing? Nizar is willing to take up as evaluator. Okay, so I have 3 evaluators. And then table topic master. Okay, Ayu has volunteered as TTM. Ayu wants to be TTM. Then we have the role players, timer, grammarian, general evaluator. So I'm looking for timer and grammarian. I know Mary has also alerted me that she will be attending. So I need to check with Mary for the 3 roles that are still open: timer, grammarian, general. Okay, so I'm going to reach out to other members who are not here with us, because they might also be interested to take up the role. But amongst us, we note down Amy, Kunang, Melva, 3 speakers, with evaluators Michelle, Federico, Nizar, TTM as Ayu, and the other roles are open. I will reach out to you to fill the other roles. And yet again, the reminder, those interested, please go and fill up your roles on the Toastmasters website, our Roseburg speakers website. Thank you. And with this, I give it back to you, Ayu.
Thank you, Yasmin. Tiger is actually raising his hand for the general evaluator. Sometimes I think we need to give him a fixed role.
Okay,
usually.
Well noted. So sometimes we should pay attention to the preference of tigers. The role he prefers, rather than putting him on any role that is not filled. So we take note, Tiger. Sorry for not seeing your raised hands earlier, but I have included you as general evaluator now.
Thank you.
I know that Mary is having fun in the wood at the moment, doing some camping. Melva is a little busy with the work. Silva, Kevin, and Ruku is sick, right? Christina and Alice will always coming whenever they have time. I think we have two members here, Ram and Catherine. Probably I just invite everybody, extend the event invitation to also say something to them, invite them back to the meeting. And last, to probably want to say something to Gabby via email. By that, now it's 11:13 and let's just adjourn the meeting. Meeting adjourned.